friends, I welcome to you all on my channel, the Opinion Platform. Once again, we have with us Dr. Chandrasen, who will speak on the present crisis that India is facing politically at the national level. We recently saw that in June, general election result came out, and in that result, it was evident that the space which was snatched away of the opposition in the parliament appears to have restored a little bit. Following that, assembly elections took place in which Jammu and Kashmir and Haryana went into election. In Haryana, BJP won the election with clear majority, whereas in Jammu and Kashmir National Conference, the India Alliance partner, along with the Congress as a major party, won the election, and BJP took the opposition in Jammu and Kashmir. With respect to Jammu and Kashmir, it can be said that after the gap of almost 5 years, or we can also say more than 5 years, democracy has been restored. The full statehood needs to be restored. We'll talk about that later. Now we will see and we will talk about things which are unfolding across states, especially those states which are going to see the election. Either it is by elections because of the positions going vacant, and the assembly election, state assembly election, where also the same thing is witnessed. What is this thing? This thing is called riot or riot like situation. In Uttar Pradesh, on 10 assembly seats, elections had to happen. Elections had to happen, and in Bahraich district, a riot has broken out. This riot is not yet fully under control. The news has come that yesterday, two perpetrators allegedly have been encountered by the police and they are admitted in the hospital. Whereas in the state of Maharashtra, a very prominent leader, Baba Siddiqui, was shot dead outside his son's office. We'll see that what is actually changing, which is leading Indian states to fall into the trap of the either riots or riot like situation. Chandrasen, I welcome you on my channel once again.
Thank you.
How do you see the a few months have passed? You have given several interviews at several platforms, including mine. And fortunately, what you had predicted about the general election 2024 happened almost around that itself. First question to you is, what change you observe after the result of Lok Sabha was declared?
Thank you once again for inviting me at your platform. But yeah, of course, many things are happening after 2024 elections, and one very remarkable thing which basically happened after election, which is that the opposition has been given a certain level of leverage in terms of seats, where once again there is a hope in the Indian politics, in democracy, that of course if oppositions come together, they fight collectively. So the whole concept of invincibility of BJP and under the leadership of Modi uh, is just a myth created by the establishment parties. So they can be defeated, and of course opposition tried and they could not defeat the BJP in that sense. But of course BJP could not manage to form the government as a single largest party. BJP was forced to come into alliances and they managed to form the government. So that's one aspect of Indian democracy which is which must be appreciated. But second aspects of Indian democracy is that of course because BJP is in power, and BJP is basically convinced uh, to rule India more than 30 years, coming 30 years. So they are basically devising new strategies where they can form the government. They can just channelize or communalize whole the politics, so that they can form the government. So whatever they are trying to do in UP, in Maharashtra, which is very much, yeah, strategy of BJP to divide the masses, which were demanding for their rights, the rights of education, rights of employment, poverty. These issues, representations were very much um, in 2024 elections. But BJP got convinced that if these issues are there and people are being influenced by those issues, then we have to divert those issues and bring them into the larger design of BJP, where communal Hindu Muslim politics should be in the front, where BJP will be benefited. So once again, BJP has come with their old strategies where they can just polarize the society and gain the majority sections of vote, which is the communitarian politics of Hindus.
You referred the term invincibility of BJP.
Uh-huh.
Second question to you would be: do you consider BJP invincible or Prime Minister Narendra Modi invincible, or do you consider them as a whole invincible?
Uh, I just I said that in invincibility of BJP, that similarly, I mentioned it was a myth created by BJP and the media. So there is no such
So
such
basically, you are saying that there's BJP is not invincible.
no,
Modi
no,
is not invincible.
no.
Their
In
chariot of victory can also be stalled, can also be stopped.
Of course, that's what happened in Indian democracy, and that is the beauty of Indian democracy, where the most powerful leader. If we go into the back history, Indira Gandhi, Rajiv Gandhi, these leaders were in a kind of the personalities where they were considered that nobody can defeat them, but they got defeated. So that's politics is quite different, but Indian society and their demands are quite different. So any party who believes, any leader who believes and come with such arrogance that they are invincible, they cannot be defeated, that's myth has been broken in the history. That myth has been broken in 2024 elections, and that will be continued in the future, because that's the democracy, that's the nature of democracy in itself.
You are speaking about the democracy and appreciating, you seem to be appreciating the nature of Indian democracy. Professor Narendra Kumar, who teaches in the political science department of Jawaharlal Nehru University, recently spoke while speaking on the Kanshi Ram's death anniversary, Mahaparinirvan Divas, that in India, very little of democracy survives, and the democracy that we see today existing, appreciating, is merely a procedural democracy. Do you agree with this statement?
Of course, there is a debate in political science where there are a set of scholars who says that Indian democracy has just follows the procedural democracy, meaning they go whatever the procedures, rules and regulations to conduct the elections and run the state. But there is a debate where procedural democracy versus distributive justice, where distributive justice is more important than procedural democracy. But uh, of course, the argument put by Professor Narendra Kumar has some valid point that India has gone into procedural democracy, and we can go in the history where Dr. Ambedkar in 1915, where he presented a constitution, he says that India is entering into the age of contradiction, where one hand we will be having political democracy but not social and economic democracy. So those points where he has been referring about social democracy and economic democracy comes into distributive justice, not in procedural democracy. So that line is clear. That message is very clear, and it it is visible in Indian polity, where procedural democracy is being seen, celebrated, but at different point we need more distributive justice in the societies, where we can address the issues of historically marginalized section of the society.
While speaking to previous questions, you indicated towards the diversion politics of the BJP from the fundamental issues of the common masses, common people. For you, what are the strategies of the BJP or of the ruling BJP government, Modi government, that you would like to call it diversions
Hmm.
from the fundamental issues? What are these?
So divergence in the sense where India is a so big countries where multi-ethnic nations, multicultural nations where every society has different issues and concerns. So those issues cannot be just handled by one issue, which is BJP is mastered of doing that politics, which is the communal politics. So BJP is trying to mobilize the power, win the election through Hindu and Muslim communal divide, where BJP can just avoid the questions of class, caste, ethnicity. So the real issues of this nation is the issues of youth, issues of worker, issues of women, Dalit and tribal. So those issues which party are basically not talking about, and talking about every day about identity questions, every day about the flag, every day about the cow and the dung and Hindu Muslim and Pakistan. So these issues always raised and very much loved by the BJP leadership is, of course, for me is a diversion politics, because these issues is not the real issues of the common masses of the people.
You refer to the Hindu Muslim politics, the area where you come from largely, Allahabad, Kaushambi. In Bahrain, right now, the riot is going on. And in this riot, one Hindu has been reported to be killed by either the mob or somebody who is allegedly said to have belonged from the Muslim communities. How do you see this riot suddenly erupting in Uttar Pradesh, where there was no talk of riots at all? There was no situation of riots at all, especially when in June recently BJP has faced the worst defeat in Uttar Pradesh. How can it be possible?
See, this basically, when we see the kind of politics in Indian society, every year there are some occasions, some festival seasons in India where there is the possibility of communal tensions and riots. And this is the season where there is Durga Puja, Navrat, uh, where there are Hindus, majority section of Hindus, they worship, they took the idols, Durga idols, for the immersions. So that basically give the tensions, and we have been noticing this kind of tensions every year. So this is a festival season where this happens. So that's one issue. But the second issue, which is more important, is the by-election which is going to happen in Uttar Pradesh. So as you mentioned earlier, that Uttar Pradesh got the befitting reply to the BJP's communal politics in 2024 elections, where BJP used to think that it is the Uttar Pradesh which is going to save BJP forever, but the result was vice versa. So now 10 seats are very important seats in Uttar Pradesh, and if you see the geographical location of Bahrain, this is very near to the Ayodhya in that sense, and we have been seeing the politics around the Ayodhya, where the veteran leader had emerged,
Avdesh Prasad ji.
Avdesh Prasad ji, coming from the Dalit community, Pasi community, I would say, and got defeated the politics from Mandir BJP. So that was not so that was surprising basically for BJP. But if you see in by-elections, Samajwadi Party has filed nominations, are going to file nomination. The son of Awadhya Prasad ji from the Milkipur seat,
Yeah,
which
Ajit Prasad.
Ajit Prasad from the Milkipur seat vacant after the Prasad got elected. So that seat is very important for BJP. So this politics is basically the politics where BJP has tried to manage a larger section of the Dalit community, particularly the Parsi community, in 2014 elections, where this community has voted to the BJP. But after one decade, the BJP's promises, BJP's misrule in the Uttar Pradesh, this community got disenchanted. They shifted from BJP to Samajwadi Party. Now, if you see geographically the location of Bahraich comes in our region where Sitapur district is there, Lucknow district is there, Gonda is there, Ayodhya is there. So this particular district is mostly dominated by, if we can say, from Dalit communities, the Parsi community. So I would say these rights are very much political rights where BJP is trying to get away those sections of Dalit community or Parsi community which has gone to the Samajwadi Party in their own fold, while sending the message of Dalit, not Dalit, but as a Hindu, and portraying them against Muslims. So that is the politics. So I would like to see this politics from the caste lens as well. This is not just only Hindu Muslim, but BJP is playing indirectly the caste politics where they try to mobilize a certain section of Dalit community in their fold.
No, you said political riots.
Hmm.
Well, communal politics and riots.
Hmm.
What do you mean by political riots?
See,
Because generally riots are considered to be emotional outburst of one section against another. It has nothing to do politics. At least this is what is publicly portrayed, publicly spoken, that some sections felt unsafe, therefore the community revolted. It's a kind of community came out on the streets to kill another community. But you are adding the adjective political before that. Political
uh,
riots, what do you mean?
I'm a teacher of political science. I've been teaching the politics of communalism, how communal politics has been started, what are contours, what are various aspects, and how his scholars have analyzed the rise, eruptions of communal politics and riots in this country. So there are various scholars who have listed numbers of reasons for the eruptions of any right across the country. So number one reason which the common masses are convinced that the rights are always has a religious flavor, or the rights are religious right, which is political scientists have rejected outrightly. Political scientists have documented, and their argument is that none of the rights in India has any religious angle in 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 the sense of textual understanding of religion. Like, if there is a right between Hindu and Muslim, so if there is a religious angle, must be coming from the religious book. For example, something has been written in Gita, something has been written in book, and these communities are fighting. So this is religious angle, but this has never been the case. The case is, of course, very local issues where issues of gender is involved, eve teasing is involved, property rights issue is involved, the neighbors are fighting there. There are some very recent festivals where one community DJ songs. See the case of Bahrais, where the riots started because Hindu community they has been playing certain songs which goes against the Muslims sentiments. So they just said ki just stop these songs. So whole communal divide got divided there, and then the riots started. So one analysis of political science that none of the riots in India which got happened uh, after independence has some religious sentiments or some religious textual understanding. Of course there is a religious flavor, there is something like that. Sometimes people say is that some flesh, some meat has been thrown, so that incidents are there, but textual understanding of religion has been never part of any communal right. Number one. Number two, the religion, the the leaders who are saying that it is our religious matters where we one community is going against and the communities, but see the examples of religious leaders who have very cordial relations and personal relations with the Muslim communities and Hindu communities. We can enlist the numbers of political leaders from BJP whose daughters and sons got married to the Muslim and Muslim daughters and sons. Not only the politics, but in Bollywood, other celebrities they got married. They have their personal lifestyle where they have been sharing life together, but when they comes into the politics, they instigate certain violence where they project that Hindu and Muslims are against each other. So number two, reason number three, where communal rights, where people says that people who are poor, people who comes from the backward regions, they are basically the source of communal rights. But the political scientists, they have noticed that most majority of the communal rights never happened in the village societies. The pattern of communal rights which happened across the India, it happened in cities, urban sectors and semi-urban sectors. So the backwardness, the people who don't understand religion, they mostly 65% 60% people are living in the village societies. They never fought on the line of religion. It is the elite of the cities who have been interpreting the religion, who have been interpreting the sentiments in different ways, and they have been instigating the common masses to fight together. So these are the reasons where I would say that this is very political. Political in the sense where we could say that when the right happened, that has a history of othering the self, where othering starts not only from the religion, othering starts from the politics, cinema, culture, where one community feel has been forced to feel that they don't have any share in the society, they are not the part of the society,
Do they
they are
really feel, or they are made to feel?
they are made to feel in that sense, where they say that certain communities who has huge population producing more children, where they have been snatching our resources. The whole politics of BJP is like that Muslim are producing more children and these children are going to snatch the resources of Hindus. So that sense of othering is there, where one community always in insecurity, economic insecurity, in that sense, where they feel that this community is going to snatch our resources, the bread which is mean to us. So these are the reasons which are very much political, which are very much economic. So religions is aside, religions is a personal matter where everybody is practicing their religion, but the politicians use always the religions in the disguise of some other things. So my submission is that in India, religion has been never the problem. Religion is personal matter, but the politicians, they use the elites, the intellectuals, they interpret these issues in certain ways where it appears that it is a religious matter. Rather, I would say it's very much political and economic issues where communal rights got erupted.
you your arguments appear to be very convincing that in the village societies where people have hardly any particular fixated opinion about religions, they can't go into religious war,
Mhm.
whereas when it is directly the matter of political gains that politicians should have ensured,
Hmm.
they fail and they held them well. The next question to you is, in Uttar Pradesh and across the country. Now, the debate has come back in the riots that since the day BJP has come to the center, and in Uttar Pradesh, since the day BJP has come in the state, the riots were not happening. After a long time, they say the riots, Muslim mob lynching has been continuously reported, but riots per se, they say that when BJP comes to power, BJP may be a party which is blamed to be participating and promoting riots. But when they are in power, it does not happen. Therefore, the opposition parties are responsible for the eruption of such riots. What do you say?
See the rights, the history of rights. If we analyze in Indian context, whether BJP was in power, whether BJP was in state or center, the riots happened across the country. It is not just recent phenomena. Of course, there are new things which
No,
are
they're saying otherwise. They're saying that riots have not happened. Riots don't happen when BJP come to power either in the center or in the state. They,
no,
they blame it on the opposition parties.
no. That's not true. That's not true because BJP. When they are in power, the riots never happen. What happened in Gujarat, right? What happened in Gujarat, right? What is happening in Delhi, Delhi? So BJP was in power in Gujarat. BJP was not in power in Delhi when that riot happened. But one thing is very clear with the coming of BJP, that the intensity of riot, mob lynching, has been increased in BJP tenure, where Muslim community has been targeted across the country. They were in the power in Haryana. They were in the power of uh, uh,
Even in
in
Maharashtra, even in
Maharashtra,
UP,
UP,
even in
and
Bihar.
Jharkhand.
Yeah.
So in their role, the BJP always claim that the one thing which BJP has managed is the strong leadership and law and order situation, where they says that double engine ki sarkar, where they says the argument is that if you give us the vote in the state, then we can manage the state more efficiently. So what is happening in Uttar Pradesh? Uttar Pradesh has been ruled by BJP and center BJP is there. So why riots and why there is no and law order in Uttar Pradesh? What happened to the Yogi government in Uttar Pradesh? It is always claimed by the media and the BJP that Uttar Pradesh has minus law and order, but we don't find any law and order situation in Uttar Pradesh. There is killing of opposition leaders. There is encounters in Uttar Pradesh. There are riots happening in Uttar Pradesh. So this is a myth created by, I would say, this is a myth created by the ruling BJP parties, that when they come into the power, the law and order situation is very much tightened. But the situation is quite different.
But the opposition party should have, all these parties should have come together to oppose if the BJP, the ruling party, was at fault.
Hmm.
The way Bahraich riot is happening till today, there's 144 imposed, internet shutdown at several places, and so many arrests are happening. Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh is known to speak in the harshest language possible,
Hmm.
and he does not even uh, have a sense of control over his tongue when it comes to speak of the violent language. He says that they will teach him the lesson, they will forget, encounter, and all such words. His photos with that heavy machine guns, that is another matter that was taken from a uh, what to say, an exhibition, some exhibition where he had taken that heavy gun. But with that gun, memes are run across the media, and it is said that he will handle them directly, harshly. So Chief Minister says that he's more interested to control and suppress the riot, where opposition parties appear to be absent from at least media. They are not seen largely either criticizing or sending their representatives to control.
So that's one version where we can say that that's chief minister has been giving the message to control the riots, to teach the lessons to the perpetrator. But according to whom? According to the chief minister, who is basically the perpetrator, he has clear things in mind that once the Muslims are there, once Dalit are there, when there is section of OBC and Yadav, then the chief ministers become so efficient in handling the situations, in countering them. But when a Thakur community or the members of BJPs are involved, then what happened to this so strong and efficient chief minister? So he is unable to do, and there are several incidents where we have been witnessing all sort of issues are there. But opposition, of course, we have been seeing the opposition's statements in media. But of course, media's role, the kind of role media has been there for last 1 decade. So I I won't go by the logic of media that opposition is not doing anything. But of course, the opposition should play greater role, should play more assertive role to not only just whatever happened after the riots, but before the riots, they should have their cadres, they should have certain information where they can interpret that these things might happen, so we can stop those riots or any kind of things where a particular community or the caste, um, we can avoid from those things. So opposition should play more greater role, but of course from media perspective, so media has blackout opposition always. That trend is very much similar, that's even today happening. So I won't go by the media's interpretation that the opposition is absent, totally absent.
Coming back to the election, I would again ask you this question that in recently concluded general election, which is Lok Sabha election at the national level, there was some hope in the opposition alliance parties that now the BJP would come under control. Now BJP will have to work hard. But seeing the situation going out of hand, either in Maharashtra, where a prominent leader like Baba Siddiqui is murdered in the broad daylight, like openly, just coming out of his son's office, and Uttar Pradesh, Bahraich, such a big riot is happening at present. Do you think that those people, opposition leaders, or the people who believe in democracy, constitutionalism, in Indian democracy, they feel pride, they should have, they should continue to be happy seeing again that opposition is failing somehow to control the narrative of the ruling party, which is Modi government. Modi government does not seem hearing their opposition's voices at all. Opposition is failing in Maharashtra, of course in Uttar Pradesh, and several elections are to come, and there is a general perception that in 10 by-election, 10 by-election of 10 seats after Bahraich riots, Hindu-Muslim divide has been created strongly, stronger than before, and opposition parties will lose elections for sure.
See, the kind of narrative set by the ruling BJP. Of course, we can go to June and May elections where we don't find any kind of narrative set by the opposition. It was the material conditions of the country where the common masses of this country, they came together and they defeated the BJP. It was not the oppositions who have done something remarkable where the common masses came into the favor. So the common masses, they got enchanted, they went against the BJP. So of course there has been lacuna in the opposition parties in a sense to counter the BJP jointly. They form alliances somewhere, they don't form alliances when they are in the in big share. So that has happened across the country. We have recently seen these things in Haryana where BJP got elected three times, third time, where Congress
Was about
lose,
to win.
about to win. So that lacuna has been there. That I would say that is the political arrogance of the Congress and other opposition parties. Like in West Bengal, Mamta Didi has that tendency. So these tendencies are their opposition where they just want to have bigger share where their presence is more stronger than any regional party. So that's one point is very much noted by the activists or the academician, where they always pleaded to the parties, opposition parties, come together, fight with BJP single handedly. You cannot fight with the BJP if opposition parties, they are not listening. So nobody can save this country from the coming majoritarian kind of tendencies in near future.
It is said, very popularly said, that whenever riots happen, if riots will happen, BJP will always be on the winning side.
Hmm.
Now, I remember the 90s that LK Advani, Lal Krishna Advani is that Ram Yatra, Rath Yatra that we call, that chariot. When it was to reach Bihar, Lalu Prasad Yadav was the first leader who took the strongest decision of stopping the chariot of Lal Krishna Advani in Bihar, put him behind the control, you can say the house arrest, a kind of house arrest that normally people say it's jail, but that's a house arrest. Because Lalu Prasad openly knew, believed, and continue to say that wherever riots will happen, BJP will always be on the edge of victory. Oppositions, when they understand it so clearly, still they do not work. Every time it happens. When Akhilesh Yadav was the chief minister of Uttar Pradesh, it happened, and thereafter it exactly happened the same way, predictive way. Samajwadi Party lost election, BJP come to power. Every time it happens, BJP wins. It appears that riots are happening in Uttar Pradesh. In Maharashtra, election is about to happen. Assembly election is about to happen. There also again the after the murder of Baba Siddiqui, Hindu-Muslim divide is somehow being played on the shoulder of Lawrence Bishnoi, who is being projected as the new hero of anti-Muslim politics. Why opposition does not work the cadreship or train their people how to control such situations?
See, we need to understand the kind of politics played by opposition parties, particularly Congress party, left parties, and the social justice socialist section, I would say, to challenge communal politics in this country. So there is a fundamental problem to understand communal politics, to check the communal politics in these political parties, because these political parties they never understand the politics of social justice, the politics of representation, politics of Dr. Ambedkar. So when my submission is that if you want to challenge the communal politics, Hindutva politics, you need to address the issues of social justice. The social justice is the only issue where you can address or challenge the communal politics in this country. Uh, this has been happened or tested by Lalu Prasad Yadav ji, who is the champion of social justice party. This has been happened in Uttar Pradesh during Kansiram, whenever Kansiram or Bahenji government. So merely just appealing to Hindu Muslim communities that don't do fight, don't go into the communal politics, it is not going to work. It is not going to work. We have seen the 70 years of the history of this country. So if these parties have these ideological and political conviction to fight communalism, they will have to go to the politics of social justice, representation politics, where the real issues of this country, where the masses of this country, they constitute 90% of this country belongs to SC, ST, OBC communities, and their issues are the issues of social justice. Their issues is not the Pakistan issue. Their issues is not the Hindu Muslim issues. Their issues is the right to job, right to representation, because they constitute the majority section of the society. But when we count their numbers in polity, in bureaucracy, in media, in judiciary, they are negligible, they are zero. So when you address these issues, then these masses, of course, they will listen and they will be mobilized in your favor. But these parties are unable to understand, and it's very clear from their political organizational setup. Congress is being dominated always by the social elite of this country. So the social elites, they never want to address these issues. They just want to have some tokenism in their parties, where they can say they are okay, Dalit representation is there, Babu Jagjivan Ram is there, Muslim representation is there. But when times come to address their real issues, to challenge the structural problems of the societies, they just do the eyewash. So if they are more concerned, uh, the masses, I would appeal that the people who are involved, it is always says that the Dalit and OBC, they are involved in the communal rights, and the poor are involved in the communal rights. They should also think in that way, because that is not your issue, that is the issue of the social elite of this country, who want to rule over you the way they have been ruling you over you for the centuries. So Hindu Muslim is the best way or strategy for the ruling BJP to rule, to divert your issues. So you have to understand your issues first, your problem first, then you can go where you want to go. So my understanding is that if you want to really seriously want to challenge the communal politics, you need to um, uh, check or rethink about your ideological orientation first.
Well, since you have a very profound perspective from below, and what you have predicted on my channel in the interview about the result of the general election happened almost to be true, close to that. Last question I would ask you, hoping that it comes to be true, uh, Bahraich riot will have positive impact for BJP in the almost 10 assembly seats by election.
Uh, of course, because this has been a tested strategy and the formula of BJP, where communal tension, mob lynching, anti-Muslim hate mongering has benefited BJP at least before 2024 elections. So that is a formula which BJP has used. But after 2024 elections, that there was a dent in that formula, that is strategy, because of the structural issues, economic crisis in this country. But of course, the way opposition party has been acting, the way BJP has been mobilizing, of course, it is going to impact the by-elections.
No, is it going to favor BJP?
Of course, it is going to favor BJP. If oppositions they don't understand, they timely they don't any actions come jointly, so it is going to favor BJP, because these issues, we are sitting in Delhi and we are just watching the
The
videos.
wound of BJP after losing Ayodhya Lok Sabha seat in the hands of Avdesh Prasad is fresh. That wound is forcing, I think, BJP to further expand such rights news even in mainstream media. And you are also approving of this, that BJP is going to uh, get benefit of it. Last question, still once again, last question, Kep. So, do you mean to say that there's a right economy which is working in favor of the ruling party?
Of course, there is because the kind of history of South Asian nation, the kind of India's history has been there, where India got divided on the communal lines in 1947, India and Pakistan. So the roots are very much in the society. It's the history proves that there is a problem in Indian societies, where if certain issues are coming on the line of Hindu Muslim, then of course there is a problem. But my suggestion is that we as Indian should come out with our ascribed identities. We should be come out of those identities and try to become create a identity of self, where individual identity should matter more, where Dr. Ambedkar always says that the constitutionalism politics must prevail across the country, where the ascribed identity, the because identity politics has both positive and negative sides, where if you want to come out of your identity, there is a problem also, because as an Indian in near future we must come out of our ascribed identities and should become like independent autonomous individual, where your contribution must be treated on the basis of your merit, individual capacity, not on the basis of your communal identity or caste or religious identity. So that's a future plan of our constitution makers. That's my also future ambition, that we Indians should come out of our all the identities and should create our own individual identities, where our individual right matters more than our community rights, because Europe has gone in those phases. We'll discuss those issues in some other time, but individual identity matters for me more, and that space must be created in these societies where your immediate identity should take backside and your individual identity should matter more.
Friends, you were hearing Dr. Chandrasen's his opinions, his political views on what has changed after Lok Sabha election of 2024 and what is going to change with sudden several eruptions of riots in different parts of the country, especially in the states which are ruled by the BJP. Well, Dr. Chandrasen has aptly provided the antidote to communal politics, where he openly suggests the opposition parties, no matter which party, that opposition, who any party who considers themselves, which considers itself as the opposition to the communal politics, must focus on the individual rights of the citizens of this country and the interests and the agenda of marginalized sections. The protection and hard work over individual rights and the issues of marginalized politics would only be able to save India from the flare of communal politics. With this, we conclude, and I say thank you on all of your behalf to Dr. Chandrasen. Thank you very much. You have spared very precious of your time and gave to our channel for our viewers. Thank you once again.
Thank you.